he was told no, and not only once, and not by some no-name academy, but by Independiente Santa Fe, the biggest club in Colombia. They watched him train and they still decided to send him back home. 5 years later, the same kid is starting games for Colombia at this World Cup. Not just starting, delivering, composed on the ball, winning duels, controlling the tempo against Ghana, the biggest game of his career. His name is Gustavo Puerta, and after watching him at this tournament, I believe he is the most complete midfielder in this World Cup. But here's what doesn't add up. If he's that good, why is he playing the Spain second division? Well, stay till the end of the video because I think I found the answer. Let's talk about the fact that there is people who are watching this World Cup and who don't know who is Gustavo Puerta. And rather than mocking you all, I'm just gonna present you who he is. So for those who don't know Gustavo Puerta, he was born in July in 2003, so he's 22 years old. He was born in Colombia, in La Victoria, and as every kid in Colombia, he was into football at a young age and even believed that he could play for one of the biggest Colombian teams in Independiente Santa Fe. So he went on a trial in 2019 and they ended up rejecting him. And rather than just abandoning his dream of making up it in pro football, he decided to take a step back and play for Bogota FC, who were in Colombia's second tier. And that was really valuable for him because not long ago, Bayer Leverkusen went and signed him for just 2 million in 2023 and then immediately loaned him in Bundesliga 2. So he arrived in Europe without really no big pressure, so he could adapt in the German league for 6 months before returning to Bayer Leverkusen. And what most people don't know, he was in the team that finished unbeaten with Xabi Alonso in that team. It's just that he didn't play that much because of course they had players like Xhaka, like Palacios, like Robert Andri, and Gustavo Puerta was still young and still adapting in Europe. So after just only like 7 games in the Bundesliga, he decided to be loaned in the championship where he would learn again European football. He would get stronger, and that's where he gets also that aggressiveness of the ball, because he's someone who wants also to have the control of the ball, but also equally without the ball he can be aggressive. I think playing in the championship really helped him. He got a move to Hull City where his debut was amazing. He scored on his debut, but he also got a red card for diving later on in the match, but that doesn't describe his season at Hull City because it was a complete season and they even wanted to keep him, but unfortunately they didn't keep him because they had a transfer ban that wasn't on the player that was on Hull City, and he ended up returning at Leverkusen, who wanted also to sell him, and also the player wanted to play. He needed game time for his career, so he took another great intelligent decision. He took a step back and went in La Liga second division with an ambitious project at Racing Santander, and this season you can say it paid off because they've won the second division championship and they're being promoted to La Liga, so more people will be watching him. And since then, being at Racing Santander, he's been one of the best players, and that made him earn a Colombia call-up where he's now had 10 caps and he is starting for Colombia, where we thought that a player like Richard Rios would be the player next to Jefferson Norma. Gustavo Puerta became one of the most important teams of Colombia, one of the first names on the team sheet, and has been putting up performances which are just out of this world, and performances like that make me want to back Colombia to go deep in this tournament. And that's actually something you can do thanks to the sponsor of this video. So this episode is sponsored by Kalshi, the largest prediction market in the United States. Here's what makes Kalshi different. You're not playing against a house. Kalshi is a peer-to-peer trading. You buy a yes or a no contract on whether something will happen, and you're trading directly against other users. Think of it like buying or selling a stock. The line isn't set on by some algorithm working against you. It moves based on where the money goes. Public opinion sets the price. Right now, Colombia winning the World Cup is trading at 3%, meaning just a $10 trade pays out $312 with a correct prediction. And as that probability shifts, you can buy in or out of your position at any time and lock in a profit or cut a loss. Kalshi is a CFTC approved, federally regulated, which is why it's available all across the US, including California and Texas. So download the Kalshi app and use the code ISH to get $10 when you trade $10. And again, performances like yesterday are the reason why I back this Colombia team to go really far in this tournament, and players like Gustavo Puerta also back that same. Again, the performance yesterday against Ghana was just simply complete. He started in a double pivot with Jefferson Lerma and ended up playing up higher on the pitch. He can do everything on the pitch. Really, this game, he was everywhere, winning the balls, winning duels, where he had 95% of accurate passes. I don't know if you guys realize how high that number is, and he wasn't just doing back passes, he was attempting long balls. He was playing always to Luis Suarez, the number 9, also who had a great performance yesterday. He even created 2 chances, and in that 2 chances he created 1 big chance yesterday. Gustavo Puerta, again, I think he had a complete performance, and it's not the first time this World Cup that he's had a performance like that, but I found that yesterday he was easily maybe the best player for Colombia. Again, he's not just good with the ball, and also without the ball really grabs a lot of ball. He is, again, as I said, he's really extremely physical, likes to go on a duel. Yes, he's not 6'5", doesn't win loads of duels, but yesterday he's won all his aerial duels, which also is promising. He's getting complete in his game, and under a manager like Nestor Lorenzo, he's even getting better and becoming a complete midfielder. So the same question rises again, why is he playing in Segunda Division and not at Newcastle, for example, with Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton? But the answer is simple. It's the same as the answer I gave you for Inao Ulai. This is a player who is not incredibly physical. He's not the physical prototype. He's not 6'5", tall, strong. No, he is even under 6 foot. So he doesn't win enormous aerial duels, and clubs really, especially in those positions as a number 6, as a number 8, value those kind of players. So they want the 6'2" ball winning profile, and Puerta, he wins through positioning, he wins through intelligence, not just only power. And one thing that I think has hurt him is on his CV. I think being just a passenger on Leverkusen incredible season, I think didn't help his reputation. So winning a trophy, yes, it helps, it's nice on a CV, but when you didn't contribute to it, I don't think it helps. Also, I think his move to in the championship at Hull City collapsing also didn't help him, even though it wasn't his fault. It was not on him. It was due to the club who couldn't make transfers that season. So I think really, when you think about it, every step back he's had in his career helped him become the player he is today. If he had that transfer or that explosion at Leverkusen, maybe he wouldn't be the player he is right now. And mostly important, why isn't he in the big clubs, or why aren't the media talking about him as one of the revelation of this World Cup? It's because his name is Gustavo Puerta. His name is not Gary Dorr. So it's not some easy marketable fashioned English sounding names. If he had an English name, if he was called again Gary Dorr, as I said, even as funny as it sounds, if he had a different passport, a different name, trust me, he would have already a Wikipedia page telling us that he is worth 100 million. So where do I see Gustavo Puerta going? I would like to see him in the Premier League, not because I make videos about the Premier League, maybe a bit, but because I really think the profile fits there. He just won the La Liga second title with Racing Santander. He is already in his breakout season, and I think other top performances like the one he's had with Ghana will even increase his chances of getting in a bigger team, because again, the profile is complete. We're talking about a player that is press resistant, intelligent, disciplined, covers a lot of ground, is technically gifted. I think that's what modern midfields are hunting for. So I would like to see him maybe in a Premier League team. Why not, for example, replacing Sandro Tonali at Newcastle? They've just lost Sandro Tonali. They might lose Bruno Guimaraes, but I think Bruno Guimaraes will stay. Imagine pairing him up with Bruno G in midfield. I think that would be a serious Newcastle rebuild with him and even Johan Manzambi, who they are rumored to. I think they would have a good midfield. Eddie Howe would have that sort of physical, that sort of technical midfield that he loves. So let's see where he goes. And again, my Colombian friends, if you have enjoyed this video, I've made another video about Colombia. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And if you enjoyed this video and you've watched till this far, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.